as well. But yes, in the top left of the map, in the color blue, playing as Ottoman, we have Godzillaking. And his opponent, in the bottom right of the map, playing in the color red as the British, kleinling123. And we again have the winter spawn, and of course goats, because goats are pretty cool. They're kind of cute actually, like if you look at the head, it's like, oh, it's adorable.
Yeah, a little bit. I guess it depends on what graphic setting you have. Mine is just kind of a triangle because I'm on pretty low graphics right now. But
okay, yeah, I suppose so.
Yeah, I can imagine that they would be very nice. Looks like the goat spawns are a bit interesting here. Both players get 2 goats that are easier for them to take than for their opponent. It's in contrast to sometimes when the spawns were here and right here, where both players can kind of fight for both sets of goats.
And is that dependent on whether or not it's the winter spawn or completely random roll after that?
Yeah, I'm actually not sure. I'm guessing it's completely random, but it could be a winter-summer thing.
Okay. And it was a coin start, but Ottoman is still going to go with the RTP actually, so we'll have to see how he manages to also get a house with that. Oh yeah, never mind, they just got wood.
Yeah, they start with 300, so he's fine.
Yeah, I'm very experienced with Ottoman, you can clearly tell that. Ooh, nice wood treasure for British here though, in his base. Yeah. Nice and safe.
He's not going for the early goats, possibly isn't too familiar with the map, but he is going for the market start and getting that early wood treasure, which is going to help him a lot in getting that hunting dogs first and not having to chop a lot of wood for a house. Still chopping a little bit, it seems, but
yeah, we do.
Started with hunting dogs and
well, he actually still has 100 wood left as well. Oh yeah, he needs the manor house still, of course.
Yeah, he needs a house.
Unless he wants
meanwhile,
to in.
Godzillaking didn't go for that thing. I wouldn't recommend it.
Ye olde 1010 British, yar.
Anyway, it looks like Godzillaking, especially with the trading post, is going straight down the middle of the map, so I think that he'll be getting the goats first, although I didn't quite notice them in time.
Yeah, I guess he was expecting the middle goat spawn, although he does get into a 90 wood treasure, which is pretty good as well.
Yeah. Yeah, the 90 wood treasure, it's difficult to take on this map because it's in the middle of the map. Oftentimes there's going to be a 90 wood or similar high value treasure spawning in the middle, but it's sometimes very difficult to take because both players are kind of going for that middle and trying to go for it. In this case though, I think...
yeah, he's going to take a lot of damage.
Okay, he notices
the Red Explorer is there to contest it, so... Oh, and he steals it.
I think that, yeah. I think the steal goes through. Oh, wow.
Oh, that is painful. He lost more than half of his Explorer's HP and didn't get the treasure. So the British player is going to send land grab. It is in his deck.
Let me check. Look. Yeah, I put land grab in a lot of my decks. I don't send it ever, but this guy's
it's just there, you know, just in case at 1 in 100 games where you want to transition to mills, you can send land grab.
It turns out that, yeah, even when you do a build transition, the land grab isn't often that good to have.
Yeah.
It's often better to just set a different card. I have a lot of slack for it, but yeah, it's not such a disaster to have it in this deck. It's more interesting to see.
Settlers instead. Boo, boring.
Yeah.
But yeah, completely expected. Like land grab is one of those incredibly niche cards. Like, it's very.
Yeah, it's not one that you can send very often anymore.
Anymore?
Godzillaking is aging up. I sent it, but I've been told that it's bad, so I don't send it anymore.
Ottoman is really really fast up to colonial, of course, due to not needing to spend food on villagers.
Interestingly enough, kleinling has not started yet, and is kind of far away from it. He's not going to get up until about 5 minutes into the game. I think he might have made an extra villager somewhere, or...
Yeah, that's certainly not impossible.
He's aging up with 17. Really late to the age up, going to be 5 minutes up, so this gives Godzillaking a big timing to actually do a lot of damage right now.
I don't see any villagers in position to build a forward base, though.
Yeah, that's another side of it.
Maybe he's doing a fast fortress then?
It's possible, yeah. You can check his deck, and he has both heavy colonial and heavy fortress age, which is pretty typical for Ottomans, of course. So I think that we are going to see a...
Or maybe even a fast revolt, you know, cheese your opponent.
Oh, yeah. Of Ottoman fast industrials. pretty much every time I play Ottomans, I go fast industrial with them. It doesn't usually work, but it's nice to try it. And yeah, going with the tower, that almost guarantees a fast fortress. So, unfortunately for him, he just killed kleinling outright by having the by virtue of kleinling slow age up. But still, a fast fortress here, I think, will be pretty strong.
Yeah, and how does British deal with the Ottoman fast fortress?
I've been trying to work that out many times because I played this matchup from the British side a couple times, and both times the Ottomans fast fortress, and I almost died. So
almost?
I've been trying to do. One time I almost died. The other time I did die.
Ah, okay, so it is possible.
The time I almost had, I got lucky. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we see 700 coins.
So I think that's
yeah, it's possible.
Yeah,
for sure.
Decide whether you want to stay in colonial and try to just survive the falconet timing and possibly the Mameluke timing, or if you want to go fortress yourself. It looks like he is building a barrack, so he's going to make at least a couple of units. But he hasn't actually had the scouting information that guarantees yet that there is going to be a fast fortress. His explorer's only now just getting into the base, seeing possibly that 100 gold, the big gold coin, saying, okay, yeah, there's a fast fortress coming.
And yeah, there is the age up to fortress. I assume he's aging with wait, Ottoman can't have fast age up, right? They're one of the civs that
they do have fast age up.
Oh, they do?
But when
yeah,
you
it's not
do
beneficial or something. I remember H2O talking about it at some point. I just forgot.
Yeah, most likely it's going to be the 4 Hussar, possibly the 4 Apis.
Yeah, the scout is the Hussar, I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Oh, that's a very smart placement.
Good, absolutely, yeah.
Imagine if it gets scouted and he just like builds a wall here, though.
It would be pretty annoying if that happened, but even if that happened, I think that godzillaking would have a good opportunity to make a lot of plays with the outpost. It's so forward that it means that the timings on these attacks are going to be very small, or the rush distance essentially is going to be really small, and gozillaking's going to have a really easy time pushing through the space.
Yeah, for sure. And these 5 musketeers are kind of out of position to defend anything if it happens.
Exactly, yeah. Kleinling, I think he's making the smart decision that he knows that right now godzillaking doesn't have any units and is not going to be making any units. And so there's an opportunity to do some pushing. Right now we can see the age up is almost done, so these muskets are a little bit late.
I like how he's really spreading out some of his manor houses, though, just giving him vision of the map, because he hasn't spotted a forward base yet, so he has no clue where he's going to get attacked from. So he's just making manor houses over here just in case it, some cav comes through there or something. He has one here as well to give some line of sight over here. So he has a lot of early warning.
Manor houses is actually extremely good. He actually will be able to see anything coming out of that tower. The 4 Hussar did come out, but they came out from the town center, probably to defend against these musketeers, and they're actually going a little bit aggressive right now. That's not necessarily a good idea, because a lot of those Hussar are going to die. He needs those Hussar right now.
Yeah, he basically has 2... Oh, he actually only has 2 Hussar left. I was going to say, like, he only has 2 because one of them is super low HP, but it actually got picked off anyway, so...
Right. And even one of them right now is half HP, so not a great start for the FF, but there's still a lot of opportunity. I mean, Ottomans are really strong fortress, so I think they'll be doing just fine.
Yeah, and he does have the DP to supplement his fortress with a lot of shipments.
Now we have to look at this, because that's 3 petards.
Those are petards. And he says the first shipment. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So he's going to right-click the TC with his petards and then raid the British player into the ground. I think that is the plan.
Okay.
Oh, British is going to fortress. If he can petard the town center, that's actually huge.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. This could go really well for godzillaking, actually. The Spahi are in position. They're not getting any villager kills right now, but they're idling a lot. He has to be just a little bit careful because the Spahi are so high value that he doesn't want to lose it, if possible.
Yeah, these are...
looks like one of them is going to be lost.
What are these petards doing? They're not moving.
Yeah. 4 petards? I think you need 4 to take down a town center. If you had 4 of them in position, I think you just missed that macro step.
I think 4 is just barely not enough, actually. I think you're 100 hit points short.
Okay, so you need 5 petards, or get the Spahi to do 1 siege volley. But
yeah,
now the
currently the 4
musketeers are in
petards will be
position.
enough because you get 6,400 with 4 petards.
Now look at this. This is actually really smart. Putting those hussar there to move the musketeers back over here, and now
Yeah, and he's gonna deny the age up here. Oh my god, this is
Yeah.
amazing.
All right. Well then.
I mean, this actually is a lot more important than you would actually think it usually is. Like, usually they're just like, okay, yeah, whatever, it's Brit, he can still build manor houses to get extra villagers. It's not the worst against Otto, their eco is pretty bad. But this also cancelled an age up, which means that the Brit player had about 2,400 resources or whatever in the bank on that age up, not spending it on stuff. And now that got cancelled, so he lost maybe like, what, 30 seconds of 2,400 resources doing nothing. And he now has to somehow spend that.
Anywhere near enough wood to get a town center up. So he's just spending his resources right now, which is probably the smart decision, making a bunch of musketeers, making a bunch of hussar. Because, you know, he has 2,200 resources that he doesn't have anything to do with.
Yeah, for sure.
Or rather, should move those into unit production so that he doesn't lose the game in a couple of minutes when the falconets come out.
It also completely ruined his plan, of course, because it was obvious that himself going to Fortress was how he was intending to deal with it, and that now got completely disrupted. Of course, on the flip side, the Ottoman player had to build petards to do that, which obviously are not the greatest units.
Yeah. Now, there are a lot of musketeers out, and red is actually...
Yeah. Like, for being a petard strategy, I think it went way better than you would expect. I feel like Otto player is actually still behind though, just because petards are pretty expensive and he had to start with an artillery foundry and now has to somehow do something after the Brit player is just massing for all this time.
Yeah, he just doesn't actually have that many units right now. He has a bunch of Janissaries. The 4 spotty are good, but they don't counter any of the units out right now. And okay, here are the 2 falconets, but he needs to do very well to protect them.
Yeah, spies are basically kind of pseudos and gendarmes, right?
Similar, yeah. They have area attack. They do have a self-heal, which is really nice.
Wait, what?
If you leave them idle, they actually hold its heal over time.
Ah, like that. I thought you meant like actual healing. I was like, wait, what?
Like that now. They regenerate their HP.
Yeah, that makes... Oh, very nice drag boxing here with the falconets.
Yeah, it's just the spy are moving painfully slowly right now. But there are a few Janissaries, but this might not actually work out too well for him.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he has enough to protect these falconets, actually. Oh, game is freezing a bit here. I like the 1 Avis gun.
Yeah, the 1 Avis gun. Alright, he has to be careful about this hussar right now.
Yeah, I think the falconets are going to go down here. I mean, it's probably not going to be very free for the Brit player. I mean, he is sacrificing quite a bit here to get these falconets, but the problem is these are very important. Oh, the game is really freezing up here.
Yeah, I'm curious. I know that who is having a lot of lag issues right now, but I'm concerned that it could have been caused by me as well, so I'm going to go do a real quick test.
Oh yeah, also, you know, there's this thing going on as well.
Unfortunately, I hadn't noticed. Only 3 musketeers, which is not so bad, but they can still kill a villager in about 2 hits. Two volleys between the 2 of them.
Yeah, for sure. I'll look after this fight has concluded a bit more on how many villagers actually got lost there. And he still hasn't noticed
right now. There's a lot going down. Just
now
noticing, and I think
yeah, that's actually
about 5 villagers, 6 villagers going down total.
8 total for now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's,
and he's losing his entire army over here as well.
Yeah, there's a good strategy. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's called GG.
I really liked it. Give him a lot of credit for the idea.
Very cute, but I guess
didn't really have the follow-up he needed after that.
Yeah, he needed to supplement it with a lot more pressure.
Yeah,
but it's interesting to see, though.
Funny. I enjoyed watching it.
Yeah, for sure. Petards are always hilarious.
kleinling123, and still an opportunity to pull this back for godzillaking. There's 1 more game, or I guess 2 more games.
Yeah. Next map will be Malaysia, of course.
Yeah, this is an interesting one. It's one of the new maps out of the EP3, and I don't really know how to play it yet.
Also,
Like,
according to
I'm
ASAC,
still
Malaysia
not
actually
quite
looks
sure.
nothing like that.
Now I'm gonna go look it up. All right, cool. What do you got here? Malaysia doesn't look anything like a map.
I mean, ASAC, of course, living there, probably knows quite well how it looks.
Yeah. Well, Malaysia certainly doesn't look like Borneo. That one. But yeah, I looked it up on Google Maps. Malaysia doesn't look too much like the map we see here. It is an interesting map, though. The water on both sides, that both players can kind of secure on their own. The fact that there's only 2 trading posts and the tree lines that are relatively easy to wall off. Map.
Yeah,
I'm still not quite sure how to play.
Stagecoach doesn't work on this map, so that's another thing.
Yeah, it's something that we're going to be fixing. We're pushing those changes out. I don't know exactly when. It's going to be after the group stages or before the round of 28. I'm not 100% sure, but we're pushing changes to that to fix Stagecoach pretty soon.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone actually go on the water on this map, though. There is no water spawn point, of course, so it can.
No, we fixed that too.
Oh, there is going to be a
we
water spawn
changed
point?
that. Yeah.
Okay.
It should be fixed right now. So.
It is intended to be a water spawn point then.
It is intended. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And they are switching on the civs a bit. godzillaking switching to France and kleinling switching to Russia.
Interesting, yeah. A pretty common matchup to see in the game. I think that this map is so small that it does permit a lot of very aggressive play. So it's good to see a Russia coming out of this because you can do a lot.
Your 3rd and 4th hunt are also pretty far away, so.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the 3rd one, if you start herding it early enough, isn't too bad, I believe. But if you slack a bit with the herding, it can get into a very bad position.
Yeah.
But anyway, in the top right of the map, in the color blue, we do have Godzillaking playing as France. And his opponent in the bottom left of the map, in the color red, playing as Russia, kleinling123.
Very nice, yeah. You can see that the rush distance on this map is so small. It's pretty much 2 screens from town center to town center that it makes it very easy for Russia to put up a forward base, to put up their blockhouse and secure a lot of the map at once. I think that that's exactly what we're going to be seeing. And it's going to be up to godzillaking to be able to defend that very aggressive early play.
And it seems you were right, there are water spawn points now, so I suppose it did get changed.
Yeah, it was. I think there were 2 issues. We fixed this one really quickly. Or I should say Rikiku did. And then the Stagecoach one is still to be fixed, but should be pushed out pretty soon.
That explains why I have 4 different versions of Malaysia.
Yeah, that contributes.
But yeah, I'm expecting some rather aggressive play from Russia here, as you said. Just a blockhouse over here somewhere. I'm not sure if I can actually be that close. Maybe you need to be a bit more back. I'm not sure exactly how much space needs to be between a DC and an enemy building, but...
Screen. I never know exactly how far, but it's possible, I think, to put a blockhouse around right here, so past the trade route, but not too close.
Yeah, or maybe like somewhere over here. Just protecting one of these hunts that, technically speaking, should be France's.
The hunt, there's a decent number of hunts on this map, but it's so small that some of these hunts are not. It's not clear who it belongs to.
Yeah, it's a lot of contested hunts, basically.
Exactly, yeah. And I think it rewards a lot of aggressive play.
Yeah, basically all 4 of these hunts are not clearly someone's. They are equally far from.
And that means
players.
that you have to be very, very careful how you play this game in the early game. It's very important to have some sort of control over the map, unless you're going to play very defensively. There is the opportunity to play defensively because the trees are set up so that you can wall off pretty easily. And there's this water that you can take as well. but the water isn't great, right? There's only 3 whales, so you can't sustain yourself off water like you could do on Indonesia or something.
Yeah, unless you somehow control both sides of the water, which is very difficult.
Yeah, that would be impressive if somebody managed to do that.
Both players getting reasonably nice wood treasures though, so that's always nice. And Kleinling picking up a pretty big food treasure.
It looks like...
Wait, he forgot to pick it up, but I'm sure he'll notice to pick up this 90 food treasure, which is going to help him with his age up, which is always nice, of course.
I forget to pick the treasures up all the time.
Oh, but look at how many cows godzillaking has, though. He has 7 already, and there's still a couple left on his side of the map.
Absolutely, yeah. He definitely came out.
Oh, and he's stealing the 1 cow Kleinling got.
Yeah. Having that extra scout makes it really easy to get a lot of cows, and I think he started off with a better scouting pattern to give him access to the cows earlier. Kleinling started off scouting behind his base, where there's only, I think, 1 cow at best. Because they were getting rolled out onto the map first.
And this is actually very important because it's the French player that got all the cows, and he's the one that's most likely going to be contained in his base for a while. So he just has a very nice backup of food right here. Yeah,
with these berries, with these cows, if he could wait for them to fatten a little bit, he'll be in an okay place. You know, if the game goes to, say, 15, 16 minutes and everybody's out of food, he'll still be able to sustain a little bit off of it. And that's going to be really important as we go into the game.
And the French player has pioneers in his deck.
Oh yeah, it's an interesting card. I get why you'd want the deck. Russia, not necessarily a good card, but you know. He also has colonial militia, which is, you know, it might be a bit of an overreaction to the Russians.
Villagers going forward to build the blockhouse, so we'll see soon enough where he decides to put it down. Yeah,
he does have to be a bit careful. When you take only 2 villagers, you are in danger of getting Minutemen.
Oh yeah, for sure. If the French player can scout where it's being placed down, a Minutemen pop can be brutal.
Yeah, like look at how far these villagers are, or how close they are to being in line of sight. And Godzillaking does have enough to call Minutemen if he...
Yeah, and he is going to scout where it is, so if he wants to, he could totally pop Minutemen on this. He is building a market in transition. No Minutemen just yet.
I just saw the Minutemen queue go up. The 43
oh yeah, there they are.
So yeah, I think it'll work in time. I'm pretty sure this is actually going to work out, and this would be great for Godzillaking.
Oh, I forgot about the scoreboard. Do you remember who won game 1?
Kleinling, yeah, red player. Okay, one villager definitely going down. Hopefully the second one as well, because they're okay.
Yeah, and this blockhouse just got denied, and this is pretty much GG.
It's going to be really hard for Kleinling to come back from this, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he just has to completely adapt his strategy here. He pretty much can't afford to play aggressive anymore. Or not as aggressive as he
probably getting the Explorer as well. Just an extra bonus right there, getting that Explorer.
Yeah, even more experience. Oh, this is brutal.
Now, yeah, all Godzillaking needs to do is to transition out of this properly. He needs to use some of that wood to make something. Units to not die, because there's blockhouse going up. There's going to be Cossacks coming out pretty soon, I assume.
Yeah, and he won't have Minutemen to defend any push, of course, now, which is something that has to be kept in mind. Oh, and there's the Cossacks, and they are, of course, going to pick off all these Minutemen because they only have 1 hit point.
Yeah, that's not so bad.
No, he's actually guiding pretty well with the Minutemen, still getting off.
Yeah.
Almost picking off 1 full Cossack, actually. Pretty nice.
Right. It probably would have been better if they had stayed inside the base to do a little bit more work defensively.
Oh,
but he was probably going for a kill there.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, like, Godzillaking is actually getting fairly close to having the resources to go to Fortress. And if France can get to Fortress without taking too much damage...
Yeah, I think he's going
for Hussar,
for
actually,
a Hussar. Yeah, he's making 5 Hussar right.
Ooh, 1 CDB getting picked off here, though, which is always nice. So, do you think he's going to play Colonial then, or...? He still does have 600 coin in his shipments, so he can still go Fortress somewhat.
Yeah, I think he's going to stay Colonial for a little bit. He just needs to make sure he doesn't lose outright to the next push. But he does have these 5 Hussar, that's going to help against the 5 Cossacks, and these, this blockhouse right now is so far back that it's going to be really hard for Russia to actually push out here.
What
But,
kind
you know,
of
there's 5
movement
Cossacks.
mode was that the Musketeers were in? They were like kneeling with their weapons pointed out. Any clue what that is?
I believe it was melee mode. I believe
okay.
it was melee.
I've never seen that, huh? And double Cossack shipments for Russia here.
Yeah, in response to the French actually sent a 3 Hussar shipment, so now he has 12 total, and I think that's enough to go through this. It's actually pretty close.
I think there's a bit too many Musketeers for...
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
they
he
do
doesn't
need to
notice
attack,
yet.
though.
And be a little bit careful. If you can pull those Hussars back in time and not get surrounded too much by the Musketeers, he's fine. But I think...
he is losing way too much
bit
here.
better.
Especially because
Yeah.
these are Russian units, so they are cheaper as well. So he just lost.
Yeah, you can see a lot of
basically
those
12 Hussar.
Hussar were not they needed to be. They needed to be oftentimes, you know, not attacking a Cossack that was running away. Red was really good at pulling the Cossacks that were injured back so that they didn't die. And then a few of those Hussar got surrounded by Musketeers, and then
Yeah, he lost
needed to
basically
get
12
back.
Hussar for 4 Musketeers and 4 Cossacks.
yeah, definitely not a good place to be.
Yeah, and he is in no position to go to Fortress, so... Apparently his Explorer got picked off here as well. I guess that's just to TC fire. I'm not sure what he was doing there, just scouting for his...
It was a
stable,
while
I guess.
ago. It was a while ago. It was due to just a Cossack.
Oh, was it during the fight?
Yeah, exactly.
I guess it was just...
Oh,
Oh.
it was back with the Minutemen. but-
These crossbows are maybe in a bit of a position. There is, of course, the Hussar protecting them, but I believe at least one of these is still fairly weak, yeah. So these crossbowmen do have to be a bit careful, although he does know there's no stable for now, because he took down a blockhouse, and, you know, that costs quite a bit of wood. Like, how much wood do you lose if it gets destroyed mid-building? Like, about half, right?
It depends on how far along it is constructed. So if it's almost built, you lose pretty much all your wood. If you
I
have
think it
just
was
started
halfway,
you get
right?
it all back.
When it died?
I think it was a little bit more than that.
Yeah, so he would have lost about 130 wood then, right?
So now, taking these yaks down, or the water buffalo, sorry, down a little bit early, I think. He killed all of them, and they were not really fat yet. When he did have access to this hunt right here, which I think it would have been better for him to try to secure that and not worry about it right now, or even this hunt right here, still available.
And he is
to
going
take it.
towards it, so he is going to herd it now. Maybe he
Yeah,
is
I
going to
think it
try
would
and
have
get the
been-
fortress with the food from the... No, never mind. He's spending it on units already again.
He doesn't have enough resources right now. He doesn't have... Well, I guess if he sent 600 gold, which he will probably do next, if anything.
I feel like this is a bit of an
then
awkward
he'll be
position
okay.
for this blockhouse. It doesn't really seem to be protecting anything besides kind of his right flank a little bit. I suppose it's
it's-
protecting the mine somewhat.
It's a nice position because it's surrounded by these trees, so it's a bit hard to take down, but it doesn't really secure the resources. You're right about that. Probably would have been better to be a little bit further forward to secure that.
I mean, if you
A
wanted
little
to be
bit better.
protected by trees, I would have put it here. Then, you know, it's also really threatening one of
Yeah.
France's hunts. This is just kind of like awkwardly placed, in my opinion. But hey,
It's a little strange, but I think it's actually going to pay off right here when these Hussar are spotted.
ooh, this villager needs to hide quickly.
Yeah.
So, who do you think is favored the longer this goes on, actually? Because France doesn't seem to be in any position to go to fortress, and I feel like Russia has a stronger colonial than France.
Yeah. So Russia, you know, they're typically thought of as having not a great economy, but their economy scales up pretty well because they produce villagers so efficiently. And since Kremlin has been constantly making villagers, he's actually economically ahead right now. And I think he'll stay that way. And because he has control over the map, he's going to be hunting for longer, he's going to be mining for longer. So I think this game favors him, unless Godzillaking goes up to Fortress and is able to push out and take some map control back.
Yeah, and like his Cossack mass is growing rapidly, and once he ships boyars, these are going to be quite threatening.
Yeah, and the Musketeers. And there's only 8 crossbowmen out right now, and you know there's not even the infrastructure to have a barracks. What Godzillaking really does want is some sort of way to deal with all the Musketeers, which comes in the form of skirmishers, but he doesn't really have access to those and no real pathway to get to them.
Yeah, and so his only, quote, counter unit, unquote, that he has to musketeers is crossbowmen. And we all know how well those do.
Yeah, they're not great by any means. So it looks like, yeah, we might have a battle coming in.
Oh, bit of a freeze there
And
again.
it's, yeah. Looks like
there's just so many Cossacks here.
Yeah, oh wow, there's actually a ton of Cossacks out right now, and I think that's going to be enough for...
Well, Russia has a shipment stacked up, but he really needs to send, though.
Yeah, I don't know if it matters too much anymore.
I'm pretty sure he still wants to send it, though. But yeah, he's just crushing this.
Yeah,
anyway.
he's going to have 2 shipments stacked up pretty soon.
Well, he's gaining, like, more than half a shipment worth of experience over here, so...
Exactly, yeah. He did just send 1 shipment, I'm going to assume it's going, but I think the game might end before that matters.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it does seem that Kleinling will win the series 2-0.
Yeah, Kleinling going up 2-0. Good for him. I think that puts him first in his group, although I'm not quite sure. Want to give a quick check.
Yeah, Russia actually outgathered France in that game. Like you said, if Russia actually builds villagers, their economy is not to be underestimated.
Exactly, yeah. They have a very strong economy because their villagers are preset so much more efficiently than...
They do struggle a bit early game, of course, because they have to send the trickle instead of the usual 3 villagers.
Yeah, and it's a little bit awkward early on because the villagers are expensive, more expensive. It makes
your first batch is later than a general first villager will be.
Yeah, yeah. And sometimes you have to choose between if you're going to make villagers or if you're going to make military units.
Batch training can get really awkward, of course. Stuff, yeah. China has a very similar problem, although less because with them it's only their military and not the villagers.
Right. In China has a pretty good economy when they go up to fortress, when they get the porcelain tower, so they don't have too much of a problem with it. Can still be pretty annoying. Their forbidden armies are expensive.
So yeah, it seemed that this series ended somewhat earlier than expected. I'll just put up the overlay again for now.